meeting. So, your guests, your excellencies, dear members of PARA, thank you for joining our first international Zoom event with National Centrum for Robotics and PARA. 2 years ago, PARA started with a total number of 5 members and partners. Currently, PARA unites close to 30 members from the manufacturing, automation, robotics and technology sector, including companies like Festo, Tesi, Schneider Electric, Zug, and more. 6 associated members and tens of partners, partner organizations supported our mission so far. So today's event is initiated by PARA and with a huge help of Georgi Stuyov from the commercial and economic section of the Embassy of the Republic of Bulgaria in Prague, Czech Republic, with accreditation for the Slovak Republic. I'm honored to invite on our virtual stage His Excellency Manuel Korcek, Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary Ambassador of the Slovak Republic in the Republic of Bulgaria. Your Excellency, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me today to this historical moment. First, your webinar after signing of memorandum of cooperation between PARA and the National Centre of Robotics. It gives me enormous pleasure, and I thank all who are involved in making this cooperation possible, and also who facilitate this process. I would like to thank my very good friend, His Excellency Mr. Vasil Petkov, for his support. And of course, most importantly, of course, all the members of the PARA and the management, the leadership of the National Centre of Robotics. When I was thinking this morning, what shall I say? Because I'm not an expert in neither robotics or artificial intelligence, what I can say here, besides this few words of appreciation, it occurred me maybe like any other person, maybe just to say that robots are fascinating. They fascinate people. Just to think how new technologies, how are attractive to people. We are watching like how the rover and the helicopter are now on Mars. So it goes beyond our regular horizons. When I was a kid, we learned how in Japan they produce cars without people. The whole lines of production is made by robots. So of course now we don't think about robots only about humanoids. There are chips in the beds in the hospitals, measuring the vital features of the person. So we find them everywhere. So yes, so another word starting with F, it occurred me fear. People are of course afraid of new things, fascinating but afraid, and fear of these soulless creatures which would rule above us. I'll be back, you know. Yes, and also a very natural fear of making us redundant, because some of the analyses are actually scary, that 50% of our everyday work could be made by robots. So it is challenging also. And Also another F, fascinating. I mean, facilitating. The robots should facilitate tasks we are doing. Carrying our tasks, which are maybe dangerous or repetitive, or sometimes we've already found piece of music written by robots. So it is sometimes really scary. So another F, future. Of course, this is our future. We cannot avoid. It is inevitable that the robotics, artificial intelligence, it is our future. It's going to influence our lives more and more, and that is why I am very happy that Slovak and Bulgarian experts, talents, they came together and trying to prepare ourselves to make our life the future of our lives, to be part of this adventure, what will come today, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. So in conclusions, I would say be assured that I'm interested in knowing more about your work, more about the progress of your cooperation, and I would be very happy to help anytime you will feel that you need it. And in the end, please let me just wish you a productive webinar, and I say Godspeed to everyone.
Thank you for your kind words, Your Excellency. As a next special guest, I would like to invite our next speaker, His Excellency Vasil Petkov, Ambassador of the Republic of Bulgaria in the Slovak Republic.
Thank you very much for being here. First of all, Manuel, thank you for your so kind and warm words. Thank you once again. Our presence today with ambassadors in Sofia and Bratislava is a very clear sign that we support also in the future this excellent initiative. First of all, I'm really very glad and thank you for this invitation to be part of today's event. On behalf of the Embassy of the Republic of Bulgaria in Bratislava and my own behalf, I want to congratulate all organizers and the participants with this first of its kind event in our bilateral relations and between our two countries concerning one so important branch as the robot. I'm also not expert in this field, to be sincere, as my dear friend Manuel said. But anyway, I feel that it's a very important part. It will be in the future very important, integral part of our life. That's why, if you want to speak about the future, it may be the signing of this memorandum is the first very important step of one very fruitful cooperation. I'm more than sure that the cooperation between our two countries will bring very, very positive results in the future, because robotics is the future. At the same time, by the way, this, let's say, so cooperation creates also new challenges and raises questions concerning important ethical and even philosophical traits. And we should be aware of this. The robotics, it became indispensable part of our modern industrial world in development. Its impact in production, efficiency, science, education, etc. But at the same time, as I said, here we have a very important ethical and philosophical questions, and I'm sure that this also will be taken into account because the robotics, the automation, yes, is the future. It's very important. At the same time, we're human beings, and that's why we are obliged to take this fact always in consideration. And I wish NCR and para to be an integral part of of this process of the modern world because development in their areas like robotics and automation is an inevitable part of the future of the industry economy and build up a strong cooperation environment, by the way, in which Bulgarian and Slovak robotics ecosystems will synergize their common resources, human, scientific, engineering, and financial. To conclude, I would like to repeat once again that appreciate highly your initiative and efforts for building up such an environment and would like to assure you that in your endeavor, you can count on my personal support and support the Bulgarian government through the embassy of the Republic of Bulgaria in Bratislava. And I'm sure that this first event will be only the beginning of a mutually beneficial, fruitful partnership between our two so close, so friendly countries and their companies in the area of robotics and automation. Thank you once again for your attention, and I wish you really a fruitful cooperation in the future. I'm more than sure that you will achieve a very, very, very important goals in your endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your support and kind words. It's great to hear that Bulgarian government and para can work together and provide better solutions in the field of robotics and make Bulgaria a better place for innovations. So as a next speaker, I would like to invite Professor Duchon. When I met Professor Duchon and his team on a call a few months ago, I was impressed by how rapidly both organizations found a common language. So I'm giving the stage to Professor Duchon, Frantisek Duchon, President of National Centrum of Robotics, Bratislava. Professor Duchon, the stage is yours.
Thank you. I would like to thank for the warm speeches of both excellencies and of course of yours, the invitation, Christian. So thank you all. I would like to welcome you in our labs, but of course it's a virtual background, so you can see how it looks like in our virtual, in our real labs. Of course, we are all at home offices, so yes, some colleagues are working there, but I'm currently at home office, so this is the moment how can you see the labs. Okay, but today I am here because of one reason. I would like to share the basic information about our institutions for which I am responsible. Now they are free. I will present, of course, the National Centre of Robotics, but I am the employee of Slovak Technical University, and I am also responsible for Digital Innovation Hub Science City. I think all three institutions can be very helpful, and the cooperation with para can be not only with National Centre of Robotics, but also with two other institutions. So I will try to share my screen. Please tell me when you can see it.
We can see it.
Perfect.
Institute of Robotics and Cyber.
Yes, I will start with the first institution, which is the most old one. So this is the oldest one. So it's Institute of Robotics and Cybernetics. It's one of the institutes of Slovak University of Technology. Maybe you know it is the biggest technical university in Slovakia. As I said before, I will present these three institutes. I will start from the oldest one. I would like to introduce also my team, which is present in this webinar. So I am the deputy director of this institute. Michal Adamik is our PhD student, and he is also working in DIH Science City. And Adam Sojka is also our PhD student, and he is very active with ETAPS. DIH Science City will be presented. ETAPS is a private company, they are working with students and innovations, and they are very active in it. So that is a good partner for us. And both Adam and Michal Adaming and Adam Sojka, are few steps before their PhD defense. So I hope in few months we will tell them that they are the doctors, not only PhD students. Okay. So let's go. Currently, our institutes have 30 employees. You can see the structure there. And the good point is that we have some between 15 and 20 PhD students. You know that these are the guys making the innovation, not the professors, not the assistants. The PhD students are making the innovations. So we are proud that we have a lot of them, and they are making a very nice result. To tell the topics on the national level, we are making the research on the national and international level, and you can see the topics on the national level. We are focused on the mobile robotics and mobile manipulators. This is, I think, very new topic, rising maybe a few years ago with companies like Kuka and Stoibli, that the mobile manipulators are providing that the standard manipulators, as you can see in my background, are put on the wheels and they can move around the factory and make all the stuff what is needed. So we are, as you said in the first speech, that we are focusing that somewhere in the future, maybe we will make some humanoid robot that will be that it will have capabilities as human. So I think this is the way the companies are thinking, but one step after another, of course. Another second topic, or another topic which we are focused on, is collaborative robotics. Better said, it is compliant robotics. There are robots that can work in the shared workplace with humans. They will not harm you, they can touch you, but of course the collaboration must be programmed, so it's not the nature of the robots itself or themselves. Sorry for my English sometimes. Third strong topic in our research are UAVs, drones. As you mentioned, yesterday the helicopter on the Mars was launched, and all of us were checking this, if they will be successful or not. So one our big team was not surprised, but in hurry. Yeah, very well. We are UAV expert, and we are happy that something like this happened. So that's UAVs. Mostly our research is focused in indoor applications are more complicated. When you are flying with UAVs outdoor and there is some disturbance like wind, you have a lot of place around you where you can maneuver your drone. But in indoor, it's complicated because there are a lot of obstacles, there are a lot of objects, and we don't have such large space to maneuver. So it must be very reliable, and that's the why we are looking in this way. Another very strong topic is machine learning in the biomedical applications. We have a strong team led by our dean. They are making a lot of things in this, working with hospitals and so on. I don't have a lot of details about it, but they have a nice results. I can share it after the webinar if it is needed or if you are interested. And the last but not least, at the national level, is robotic welding. But you know that robotic welding is very well solved already in at least in automotive segment. But the robotic welding in automotive segment is a large volume oriented. You know that the robot is welding 24 hours the same place, the same object, and so on. But our research is focused on small volume oriented productions when the product is changed in almost every minute. So we must adapt the robotic welding or robotic welding cell to that production. So there is a lot of research in it, and we are cooperating this research with Slovak companies like VS Levice or Matador in Dubnica and so on. At the international level, I think we are very active at this moment. We have 3 Horizon 2020 projects, mostly focused on DIH, Digital Innovation Hubs. We are active in AIT manufacturing scheme. One project is currently running. It is very important project for us because we are providing our results for Swedish companies. I think it's not every day that Slovak research has the results in Sweden. So we are proud of that project, and because of this cooperation, several other projects in AIT manufacturing are prepared, also with some Sweden, with some Swiss. So we have a good name in front of that partners. We have also one ESA project focused on some space technologies, but of course, Slovakia is not launching any rockets or any space program. But in our context, it means that we are trying to show the students what kind of technologies are used, for example, on that Mars. So we can provide the information. We can test that in our laboratories. So that's our first touch with space technologies. We have one COVID project. It's on national level, but I think the results will be very international because it's focused on UAVs, so-called drones. But you know, the drones can be submarines and so on. So let's tell UAVs, and we would like to fully support full autonomous swarm of UAVs flying over Bratislava. It will be very complicated, but we are starting. We are in touch with the authorities that I hope will allow us to at least make some tests. And the goal of the project is to help the testing for the COVID project to be very effective, flying over the city, not bringing the you know, I how to tell it, the glasses with the COVID testing around the Bratislava to the laboratories from the places taking these tests and so on. So we would like to help with the UAVs. But of course, it will be complicated because flying of autonomous UAVs over cities is forbidden. But I hope that the authorities will allow us this, at least at some testing places. And at the end, we have also 2 ACD projects. You know that the European Union is supporting European DICs, so-called European Digital Innovation Hubs, and we are involved in 2 of them. One of them is focused on robotics, and second is focused on digital manufacturing. So we are also partners in these projects. To tell you about laboratories which are available at our site, we have a lot of laboratories with private companies. It makes sense because we are not making our results for ourselves or for some journals. We would like to support our companies in Slovakia. That's why we have the laboratories with them. One of them is laboratory with Matador. Michal Adamik, who is presented on this webinar, is responsible for this laboratory. We have laboratory with startup company Airvolut focused on the UAVs. As I said, we are flying inside of the buildings. The newest laboratory is a laboratory with another startup, Panzer Robotics. Panzer Robotics is a company which will develop walking robots, and they would like to develop something like Spot. Maybe you saw the dog from company Boston Dynamics, or Animal from ETH Zurich. So Panzer Robotics is focused on that. One of the oldest laboratories company Photoneo. Maybe you know well that company because they are very well known of their 3D sensing, and they won some prizes, world prizes, with their cameras. And now I think they have 3 continents covered by their company. So they are well known. And I saw in 2018 sensors in Fraunhofer in Stuttgart. So I was proud of it that I saw some Slovak sensor in Fraunhofer. So it was a very nice feeling for me. And we have also some classical laboratories like with Schneider Electric that is focused on servo drives, and many others with Siemens and so on. But I think these are the most important from the point of view of robotics. Uh, as you can see, these are our mostly known partners or the major partners. Maybe some companies, you know, like Siemens or maybe Sensodrive, Kuka, Schung, and so on. But there are some specific Slovak companies like ZTS, VVU Košice, Prvá Zváradská, and so on. So there are a lot of robotics in Slovakia, and we are trying to cooperate with Slovak companies. So let's go to the National Centre of Robotics, and I will be shorter, I promise. I will be not talking so much. National Centre of Robotics is a non-profit organization which was established due to several reasons, but to characterize it, it is a top workplace in the field of robotics, mostly focused on industrial service robotics, visual and sensor systems, and artificial intelligence. As you can see, we are also well known in the media. You can see 3 cameras there, and when we were opening our labs, a lot of guys from TV stations and newspapers are coming, what we are doing, and asking us what are we focused on. The status of the National Centre of Robotics, as I said before, is non-profit RTO, Research Technological Organization, and we are certified to carry out science and research. So Slovakia are certifying organizations to carry out research, and we have this certification, of course. Our staff means that we have 13 regular members that are usually professionals from Slovak University of Technology, and we have 34 honorary members that are located in Košice, Žilina, Slovak Academy of Sciences, PhD students or students that are very active and competent. So these are our members, and these are our numbers. We are also on the EU DIH map, and we are the member of the largest professional organization in the robotics in European Union, and it is called EU Robotics. So we are proud that we are member of top research organizations in EU. How to cooperate with National Centre Robotics? You can be our sponsor, of course. That's the easiest way for us. So if you can sponsor us, that's the best way for us. No, I'm just joking, but it is one of the possibility. Of course, we can do a mutual research project. We can support you by some students' work. This is very good for the companies that some theses are developed on this basis. And as you said, we already signed memorandum of cooperation or understanding. So this is another point how we can cooperate. And we are offering, of course, some services mentioned in the brackets. As you can see, these are our labs. I think it's cool that we have a lot of industrial robots there. From Kuka, from Mitsubishi, from Otomania Scava, from ABB, from Schung. Now we have universal robots and so on. So it is nice that the companies would like to cooperate with us, and sometimes we buy the robots, sometimes they will give us, sometimes we are cooperating in some projects. So many robots are coming in, and many robots are coming out. This is our laboratory for mobile robotics. That's our test bed for our small mobile robots. So you can see students working on their semestral projects. This is the laboratory with company Photoneo for beam picking applications. And we also have an award for the transfer of technology in Slovakia. And on the right, you can see Professor Siciliano visiting our laboratories. And I consider Professor Siciliano as one of maybe top 10 roboticians in the world. So he was visiting our laboratories, and it's good to remember that such a person was visiting us. And of course, President of Slovak Republic, we are proud of it that he was also visiting our laboratories. He is also our former student, so for him it was a pleasure to be back in the school where he studied. And at the end, I would like to present you Digital Innovation Hub Science City, why it was established. Our dean saw that the National Centre of Robotics is doing a good job in a robotics, and he said me one day that, okay, Frantisek, you are doing a good job with robotics. Now it's the time to solve other topics. So that's the why the Digital Innovation Hub Science City was established. And we made it more professional than the National Centre of Robotics. The National Centre of Robotics was established like a good idea with no system, no systematic work. We just know what we wanted, and we tried it, and it works. And our dean told me that, okay, Frantisek, now let's make it more systematic. So Digital Innovation Hub Science City is here. We have 4 main activities. It was established last year, so it is a very young entity. The activities of that science Hub Science City are test before invest, support in finding the funding, skills development, and building an ecosystem. So classic topics for digital innovation hubs. And 3 main pillars of digital innovation hubs are these, and that's why our dean established this entity, and told me that I will be the boss of it. So these topics are focused on IoT and embedded systems. Of course, robotics, NCR is included in this digital innovation hub, and artificial intelligence. So these are the 3 main pillars that we are trying to cooperate in the terms of transfer of technology. Yes, of course, we are young, we are starting, we are making our databases, we are setting our services, but maybe for para or for any Bulgarian partner, it is good to see that we are not competent only in robotics, but we have strong teams in IoT and in artificial intelligence. So thank you for your attention. I hope it was not so long, and the information given were interesting. And you can see our web pages there under there. So if you are searching for the information, you can use the web pages. However, the web page of DIH is still not in English. Sorry for that. I apologize for that. We are starting. We can't make all the stuff at one moment, but in the future, of course, it will be at least in English. So thank you again.
Thank you, Frantisek. It was great to hear and see your lecture. Dear para members, before we continue with your questions, I would like to give the stage to Kauyan from Bangavis to share a few words for his company. Kauyan, are you here?
Yes, I'm here trying to share the screen. If you allow it.
I already allowed it. You're co-host now, so you should have this possibility.
Okay, but it doesn't work actually. If I try, it says I'm deactivated.
Well, that's strange because I already gave you the permission, but let's withdraw the co-host permission and add it again. One moment. Okay, try now, please.
Okay, now it works. Thank you for having me. I would like to present a little bit my company and also give an overview about the organizations where I'm active, because in my opinion they are relevant to the topics we discussed. Me myself, I'm a founder of Vangavis, which is an innovation company based in Austria and in Bulgaria. And the aim is to connect the regions of Central Eastern Europe, Southeast Europe, and Bulgaria with German-speaking countries in every field of innovation, startups, digitalization, and investments. We are active in different areas, including Industry 4.0, artificial intelligence, IoT, more on the startup and consulting side. We don't produce any sensors or similar things. So we work mainly on acceleration programs, growth, and PR. These are an overview of the services we offer for different stakeholders. But more interesting are here is the network, because me and Vangavis are one of the founders of the Bulgarian Artificial Intelligence Cluster, which might be an interesting contact point also for the Slovakia part. And also I would like to focus the attention on the media trending topics, which covers the Southeast Europe and Central Eastern Europe region, with when it comes to innovation success stories. A few words on the AI cluster in Bulgaria. It is a quite young organization, 1.5 years old, and we are non-profit. We work as a AI, like the topic itself, and a cross-industry approach, focusing on life science, on Industry 4.0, on fintech, and basically on everything where AI, machine learning, NLP, and other parts can be of use. We are active in a national level, supporting Digital Innovation Hub, supporting the AI strategy. Currently, we make the second report on the Bulgarian AI ecosystem. So this might also be a help if you want to get in touch with Bulgarian companies which are active in AI. The report will come by the end of this month. In addition, we are partners of a couple of European AI networks, especially European AI Forum, which is a cluster of different AI associations. Like our friends from Slovakia, we work on technology transfer and support academia to business. So this might also be area of collaboration with AI Bulgaria. Of course, we are a partner of Para. We cooperate on different levels. The other company, the other organization I would like to present, which might be also of use for every stakeholder, is Trending Topics. We are a media house with offices in Austria, in Vienna, and in Sofia. And I'm leading the Sofia office, where we cover content in English regarding innovation, startups, digitalization, events, success stories of every type. So in case you want to push your story, you want to push your event or information, we are here to help. We are also here to communicate about the partnership between Bulgaria and Slovakia, or between companies who work together. These are considered success stories, in my opinion. So in case there is any collaboration, any project you would like to cover, interview, or whatever, feel free to get in touch. I think the media and the information of the general public is of good use for everybody who works in the sector of robotics, of AI. We heard about fears, we heard about trends in the last talks. So I think media work will be essential in order to communicate with the general public. These are some words about me, but in general, that's it. Here are my contacts. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kauyan. Thanks for your support also. So, dear members, I'm sure that you have some specific questions. So feel free to ask Professor Duchon and his team, or just leave your contacts in the chat. So the stage is yours. George, I can't hear you. You're unmuted.
Shall we raise a hand?
Yeah, feel free to speak.
Yeah, okay. Because nobody is rushing asking a question, I just want to add a couple of words. Here it's not exactly a question. Firstly, I would like to thank to Professor Duchon and the other guys from NCR. It appeared there that NCR is not a single organization. It's part of a bigger network of Slovak organizations which participate actively in creating the such-called ecosystem of innovative Slovak companies. So what I would be happy to see here is actually a cooperation, a real cooperation, which at the end will, as Ambassador Petkov said, synergize the efforts of both countries. We are small countries, but for talent, size of a country doesn't matter. And I would like them to synergize in order to create an environment in which the talents from both countries raise to a world level and compete with the talents from countries like
Georgi, we can't
United
hear you.
States, so this is my wish to all of you, and I would like to say that I would fully support until I'm at that position, and afterwards I would fully support your efforts and that direction.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Hey, Nadia.
Hi. So I have actually I have two questions for Frantisek Duchon. So my first question is regarding the Innovation Center, the Innovation Hub that you mentioned. Could you tell us a little bit more about the opportunities? You mentioned some of them, but I'm also interested whether the opportunities for the Innovation Hub are available just for local companies or also for international and other European companies. And my second question is regarding Boston Dynamics, because you mentioned I'm also closely following them. Of course, I'm sure that everyone is. I'm interested in what you mentioned, that such technologies are also being developed in Europe. So how close is Europe to the Boston technology, the Boston Dynamic technology? Because I know that the founder of Boston Dynamics actually has been developing this technology for more than 40 years. So I'm really interested in your opinion about that. Thank you.
Thank you for the questions, and I hope that I will correct the answer, because nobody is perfect. So that's also me. Okay, let's go. First question. You are asking whether we are national or international at the level of Digital Innovation Hub. At this moment, we are just national. We were established 1 year ago, and we are starting our services and all the activities. But I think in the future we must be international, of course, because as Georgi said, that our nations are small, and the Slovak nation is smaller than Bulgarian nation. So if we have a good products, we can't stay in the Slovak region. So you can see that the Slovak companies that we are cooperating with them. So they are not just on the national level. So if we can create some useful robot or some useful solution for them, that solutions will appear also at the international level. For example, Matador company is responsible for 4,000 robots over the world. So it's not only Slovak environment or Slovak space. So we can develop with them something useful. It will appear in Germany, it will appear in Russia, and so on. So in the future, I think our activities will be more international, but at this moment we are national. And the second question, that's the one that is more complicated to answer. As I know, there are some activities in Europe trying to build some very similar robots like Animal, produced by you probably know Anybotics company. Anybotics company is a spin-off from ETH Zurich, and it was established in or 4 or 5 years ago. And they already have very nice robot Animal. They say that they worked with these robots over 10,000 hours. So it seems there is very something similar to the Spot. And I have a very nice, nice story. One company in Slovakia is trying to sell us the Spot, but they didn't answer about the price. But of course we have our channels, and if you want to use the Spot for 1 year, you will pay $75,000. So it's very expensive piece of technology. And that's the why I think many companies in Europe will rise and will try to make very similar results like the Spot, because it seems there is a market for it. So that's the why Panzer Robotics started in Slovakia. And if you can check the web page, you can see a very similar dog. But at this moment, they are just in the design phase. They are trying to get some engineers, some technicians, and maybe in 1 year, I can present you a Slovak Spot. Let's call it like this. Okay, I hope I answered. For me, the biggest competitor in Europe for Boston Dynamics is that Animal, and it's connected with ETH Zurich. You know, ETH Zurich is something like a holy Bible for the Europe. So they are the best in the things. And maybe one another story, Michal can help me. When it was when we were in the exhibition with our robots in Rome. Professor Siciliano invited us, and ETH Zurich was behind us.
Right next to us.
Right next to us.
And also 1 year, you weren't there 2 years ago. So they were right next to us. And before that, they were behind us. And we talked to them, and they really liked our applications, but they were way cooler. So, yeah.
And there was a story that they didn't believe that our projects were made in 2 persons.
Yeah, because they have their huge teams, like 30 students working on one project, and they can cooperate together very well. So I'm trying to bringing more students to one specific project and to create a better output. So that was the application we presented there. It was a bricklaying robot. If you're curious, you can check out my YouTube channel, and it's all there.
Okay, I hope we answered the questions. Perfect. And I can see another question in the chat. I would like to answer it. So how do you develop your collaboration with foreign companies, and how do you find each other, and what are your top selling points? Oh, this is not so easy to answer. You know, we are not checking all the day whether there is a company with which we can cooperate. It comes natural. We find them on exhibitions like Automatica in Munich. They found us because they were trying to find some partners in Slovakia, and when you put word robot and you are searching in Slovakia, then you will find National Centre of Robotics, of course, in top places. So that's the way how we found each other, and maybe one very nice story is the cooperation with company Senso Drive from Munich, Germany. There is one Slovak guy. He studied in Košice, but he said one day that okay, I think our Slovak guys can work with us, and he was trying to find some robotics in Slovakia, and he found National Centre of Robotics. So we are cooperating with a German company, but the guy inside of the German company is a Slovak guy. so that's the connections. They come very natural because of the topics, because of some mutual interests and so on. So it's not only one channel we are using. And what are our top selling points? We are how to say it? We are not making solutions by ourselves, or how to say it, that we are not making solutions only for us. We are trying to cooperate with the partners because they are using the solutions. We are just the innovators. We don't have the business models. We don't have anything like this. So I don't know if I understand correctly that question, but our top selling points are inside of these companies, not in the meaning of that they are selling something, but we are just providing the services, not the products. So we are very cooperating in very tight cooperation with them, and that's a good cooperation when you have partners. Some of our partners in the past were coming to us that we are ordering something from you. This doesn't work. We must have a partner on the other side. So I think this is a top message for this.
Thank you, Frantisek. And also, I have a question. What type of requirements do you have when you decide to work with international partners, for example, with companies from para? What you want to count on?
Okay, I think it's the same like in national level, because in national level, when company come to us, I will take a pen and I will draw some graph for them. On the x-axis there is a time, on the y-axis there are the money, and if you are if you take a lot of time and if you are putting no money and you have a lot of time, so let's cooperate on the student's thesis. If you have some money and you need some mid-term research, okay, let's search for the grant scheme, and we can support this research and development by some funding. And if you have a lot of money and you don't have much time for the development, we can cooperate directly, and I will give you the guys who will pay them, and they can give you results in few months. So I hope you can imagine that in the next webinar I can draw it. Okay. I think it's the same every time. It depends how much time do you have for the development and how much money you have for it. If you don't have money, so let's work with students. If you have some money, let's work in the grant or some funding. And if you have a lot of money and you don't have a time for waiting for the results, we can cooperate in some invoices or like this, ordering some services.
Okay, thank you. Guys, any questions?
So I'm guessing that if someone from this has and is looking for other partners from different fields for European projects, for example, probably you contact Para and they will contact us. So that's okay. Sure, sounds
yes,
great.
exactly. I already involved Para in one of our projects. It was the one I presented in AIT manufacturing. I'm not sure about if there will be some money, but at least we are in touch. It will be a project with SUPSI. SUPSI is a Swiss university, and in the project that there must SUPSI and RISE. RISE is also Sweden research organization, and in the project there must be an involved activities in EU 13. You know that we are all in EU 13, and I asked I think Georgi or Christian whether we can involve para inside of the project, because we must tell in the project that we have some activities, and when the project is funded, I will invite Christian to see what are the results, and he will maybe found some companies in Bulgaria that can use the results. So we already involved para in one project, and I hope that this will rise, the numbers will rise.
Okay, and there's a question from Stanislav Dimitrov. Do you see any possible collaboration between your lab and company that develops IoT solutions? In what way, if yes?
Okay, so if yes, it depends on the topic. If I will write there my email address. If you can provide me some information, what you are doing, what are your targets, what do you need to help with, so we can start the discussion, and I can show you what our teams are doing in IoT solutions. Mostly they are developing own sensors, own software, own hardware. They have some nice results with parking sensors, with telemedicine, and so on. So I can then send you services that they are able to do, and you can check whether there is something interesting for you. If yes, then I can send you first the information, and second, of course, the contacts, and you can take the contact and directly call them, or we can support you and the cooperation, of course. So I think the most important is to select the topic, select the target. So that's the first touch, and after we can answer you if yes or not. That's all. And if yes, then of course we will start to cooperate.
Thank you, Frantisek. And also, please send more details regarding the Swiss project. So I somehow missed it, so I can send it to all members from para.
Perfect.
Okay. So. Okay.
Christian,
Yeah.
maybe one comment. I think it will be important to send you the project after it is funded, because if it is not funded, it is useless to send you the information. If it's funded, I think it is important to send it to you. However, if it's not funded, it will be a useless information, I think.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. Regarding the Digital Innovation Hub, do you expect another participants outside of NCR to join? And when?
Okay, we already have some partnerships with Michal helped me 4 or 5 companies at this moment. Matador, US, not IPS, APIS, and others are coming. We are starting, so but the partnership is is written in Slovak language at this moment. So if you think it is important for your companies to be a member of our hub, we can translate it, of course. However, at this moment, I can it's more important to start cooperating with para.
Okay.
To start the activities, and we will see in the future whether it is good for the companies to have some membership in Slovakia or not? Because everything has some advantages and disadvantages. Advantage is that yes, of course, there will be our member. Disadvantage, okay, but it will be very complicated to cooperate with, for example, let's take project 2 Slovak companies and 1 Bulgarian company. So give us some time. We must think about that. How to, as I said in the presentation, we must find the system.
I see.
If you have some ideas, please help us.
Okay. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining on this event. This video will be is already recorded. It's live on Facebook, so I will send more on. I will follow up with an email after that. Thank you, Your Excellencies, joining in this event. It's great to see that you support both organizations and you're helping to add more value to our future collaboration. Thanks also to Georgi Stuyulov for helping us organizing this event. And of course, to all members from PARA joining, and to Adam, Frantisek, Michael from NCR. So expect our next event where we'll do where Frantisek will meet and will present some Slovak companies and we'll have a chance to collaborate with them. So thanks once again. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye bye.